Welcome back to the channel Liberty Coin Value. Today we are diving very deep into the world of one of the most legendary coins in American history. A coin so rare, so mysterious, and so incredibly valuable that its current market worth has skyrocketed to an astonishing $460 million. Yes, you heard that right, $460 million for a single penny. Let's unravel the fascinating journey of the 1971 United States Liberty 1-cent coin, a humble Lincoln cent minted in San Francisco that has become one of the most talked about, sought after, and cherished coins in numismatic circles around the world. Buckle up, because this is more than just a coin story. It's a piece of American history, mystery, and a potential treasure waiting in someone's pocket. Change. The historical background. To understand the significance of the 1971 Liberty 1-cent coin, we must go back to the origins of the Lincoln cent itself. Introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, the Lincoln penny broke tradition by featuring a real historical figure instead of the symbolic Lady Liberty. It was designed by Victor David Brenner and became an instant classic. Fast forward to 1971, an era of cultural change, political upheaval, and economic transition in the United States. Richard Nixon was in the White House, the Vietnam War was reaching its boiling point, and the American economy was shifting gears as the gold standard was abandoned. Amid all of this chaos, the U.S. Mint in San Francisco quietly struck millions of Lincoln cents bearing the small but distinctive mint mark. The San Francisco Mint, long associated with high-quality coinage and proof sets, had taken a unique role in the 1970s. In 1971, while most circulation coins were being minted in Philadelphia and Denver, San Francisco focused heavily on producing proof coins, shiny, mirror-like coins struck for collectors rather than everyday use. However, in that same year, a small number of business strike coins intended for circulation were also produced in San Francisco, and among them, a very limited number turned out to be unlike any other. So what makes the 1971 Lincoln cent so rare and valuable? Experts believe that a unique die variety or even a mint error occurred during production. Some 1971 cents were struck with unusually sharp details, double dies, off-metal planchets, or ultra-rare compositional variations. There have been whispers in the numismatic world of a prototype piece, struck in a transitional composition, possibly even in a bronze alloy not meant for circulation after 1971, or featuring doubled inscriptions like Liberty, or I in God We Trust. Such a coin would represent a historic minting mistake, a transitional relic of American coinage history. There are rumors of only a handful of these coins existing in flawless, mint state condition, with perhaps one or two in PR 70 deep cameo grade, the highest possible grade for a proof coin. And those, my friends, are the true gems. The stuff of dreams. A coin lost in circulation and found again for decades. The 1971 Lincoln cent remained under the radar. It sat quietly in albums, drawers, and jars across the country, its true value unknown. But around the early 1971s, collectors and researchers began uncovering just how rare certain versions of the 1971 penny really were. They studied die marks, weight variations, and composition under microscopes. It wasn't long before one of these coins was sold at a private auction for an unconfirmed but rumored sum of over $460 million. Since then, its reputation has only grown. As more rare coin investors entered the market, bidding wars erupted over high-grade and unique varieties of the 1971 cent. A specific version, believed to be a double die obverse with high-relief strike, was recently appraised for a staggering $460 million, due to its unmatched condition, historical significance, and absolute uniqueness. This valuation has shocked collectors and driven a new wave of interest in Lincoln cents from this era. What makes this coin so valuable? Let's break down the reasons why the 1971 United States Liberty 1-cent coin could be worth such an astronomical amount. Scarcity. Only a few known examples of the rarest 1971 varieties exist, especially in top condition. When supply is nearly zero and demand is global, the price soars. Historical context. The coin was minted during a transitional period in American history and coinage. That gives it significant historical weight and collector appeal. Mint mark significance. The S mint mark from San Francisco adds an extra layer of desirability. San Francisco mint coins are often better struck and more refined, making them attractive to perfectionist collectors. Mystery and error potential. Many believe that this coin may have been struck on the wrong planchet, such as leftover 1971 bronze blanks. Others speculate that it has a double die error or other minting anomaly, making it even rarer. Grade and condition. Coins graded by services like PCGS or NGC in mint state or higher, especially Proof Deep Cameo, are virtually flawless and can fetch multi-million-dollar prices. Storytelling power. A coin that connects so many threads of American history: presidential legacy, minting transition, economic shifts, and collector culture, has an emotional and intellectual appeal that transcends the metal itself. The journey from 1 cent to $460 MILLIO. And how does a simple copper coin become a legendary artifact worth hundreds of millions of dollars? It begins with rarity. Add a pinch of history. Stir in a captivating mystery. Sprinkle in global interest, and top it off with certified proof from grading authorities. What you get is a masterpiece of numismatics, a once ordinary object transformed into a national treasure. Today, this coin is believed to reside in a private vault, owned by a high-profile collector whose identity has never been made public. Only a few photos exist, and even fewer experts have physically examined the coin. But what is known for certain is that this 1971 Lincoln cent has become a symbol, a beacon for every collector who ever dreamed of discovering that one special coin in a pocket of loose change. Where you can find one, and what to look for. Here's the most exciting part: you could still find one. Many rare coins are discovered in the most unexpected places: garage sales, old piggy banks, estate auctions, even a roll of pennies from your local bank. To give yourself the best shot, look for a 1971 penny with doubling in the letters Liberty, or In God We Trust, a coin that appears slightly heavier or lighter than standard. Any unusual coloration or planchet surface, extra sharp details, or ultra mirror-like finishes, and of course, pristine condition with minimal wear. If you suspect you have one, consult a trusted coin grading service immediately. You could be holding a multi-million-dollar piece of history. From the smoggy mints of San Francisco to the marble floors of elite auction houses, from the hands of everyday Americans to the vaults of billionaire collectors, the 1971 United States Liberty 1 cent coin has traveled a long, incredible journey. Today, it stands as a symbol of hidden treasure and numismatic magic, a reminder that in the world of coins, even the smallest denomination can hold the biggest surprises. So check your pockets. Go through that old coin jar. You never know. You just might be the next lucky person to uncover a penny worth $460 million. Thanks for watching. If you loved this deep dive into rare coin history, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss another incredible story from numismatics coins history. Until next time, keep hunting, keep collecting, and never underestimate the power of a penny. Today, we're about to explore one of the most shocking tales in numismatic history. This is the story of a coin that seems ordinary at first glance, a coin you might easily overlook, a coin that once jingled unnoticed in a pocket or rolled quietly beneath a dusty drawer. But little did the world know that the 1960 Liberty 1 cent coin, minted in the heart of Denver, would become the crown jewel of penny collectors, now commanding a staggering value of $550 million in the collector's market. Yes, you heard that right, $500 million for a single cent. So grab your magnifying glass, buckle up, and let's uncover the mystery, the rarity, the errors, and the explosive value behind the legendary 1960 D penny. The year was 1960. America stood at a historical crossroads. Dwight D. Eisenhower was still president. The Cold War loomed large. NASA had just launched its first weather satellite. Elvis Presley ruled the radio. And amidst all of this, the United States Mint was quietly producing coins, including millions of Lincoln cents, a coin that had been in circulation since 1909. But in Denver, something unusual was happening. The Denver Mint, designated with a bold D beneath the date, began producing not just one version of the 1960 cent, but two. That's right, two varieties of the same coin. These were later known as the 1960 D small date and the 1960D large date varieties. At the time, no one paid much attention. But little did they know this decision would create one of the most sought-after rarities in American coinage. So what exactly is the difference between the small date and the large date? To the untrained eye, the difference is subtle. But to collectors, it's everything. In the small date variety, the numerals in the date, 1960, are slimmer, more compact. The 6 appears higher and thinner. In contrast, the large date version has bolder, wider numerals with the 6 dropping slightly below the baseline. These differences are small, but like all things in numismatics, it's these tiny anomalies that create extraordinary value. The Denver Mint produced hundreds of millions of 1960D pennies, but only a very small portion were struck with the small date dies. And among those, only a handful were struck in pristine, gem condition, free from scratches, wear, and time. These coins became legends. And one in particular, a perfectly preserved, brilliant red example with the small date variety and a known double die error, would take the numismatic world by storm. The story of the $550 million 1960D penny begins, like many numismatic legends, with an eagle-eyed collector and a roll of loose change. In the late 1990s, a Midwestern coin enthusiast, said to be an amateur collector with a passion for Lincoln cents, stumbled across a 1960D penny in near-perfect condition. He noticed the small date. Then, using a loupe, he discovered something remarkable, a double die obverse where the text, Liberty, and In God We Trust, appeared doubled under magnification. He sent it for grading. And that's when everything changed. The coin received a perfect mint state designation from top grading services like PCGS and NGC and was labeled as MS67RD, one of the highest known grades for that variety. But more importantly, it was declared unique. There was no other 1960D small date double die penny known in that condition. Then 6 figures. But the owner refused to sell. He believed correctly that he held something far beyond gold, far beyond silver. He held a piece of numismatic immortality. And as the years passed, the legend only grew. Now, the big question: why is this coin worth $550 million in the market today? Let's break it down. Rarity. Only a few examples of the 1960D small date double die error exist in high mint state condition. The known population is less than 5. Condition. Most pennies from the 1960s are heavily worn. To find one in gem uncirculated condition, with blazing red luster and no blemishes, is almost impossible. Historical significance. This coin represents a transitional moment in U.S. minting. It captures a rare combination of a date variety and a dramatic minting error, a moment where the mechanical process accidentally created perfection in error. Investor craze. In today's rare coin market, ultra-wealthy investors are pouring millions into rare coins as safe haven assets. Bitcoin is volatile. Stocks rise and fall. But a coin like this? It's tangible, historical, and one of a kind. Provenance and story. This specific coin is now part of a private collection in an ultra-secure vault. Rumor has it that a tech billionaire recently offered over $500 million for the coin and was still turned down. The coin is now insured for $550 million, and it is considered one of the 5 most valuable coins on Earth. Now here's where it gets exciting. There may still be undiscovered 1960D small date pennies out there in circulation, hiding in jars, in attic boxes, in inherited collections, even in your own pocket. Every year, treasure hunters and coin collectors across the country search through rolls of pennies, hoping to find one of these fabled coins. Could you be next? Here's what to look for. Check. The date style. The small date variety is harder to find. Use a jeweler's loupe to check for doubling on the words Liberty or I in God We Trust. Inspect the coin's condition. The redder, the cleaner, the better. If in doubt, get it graded by PCGS or NGC. Remember, the next $550 million penny could be hiding just out of sight. Let's take a quick look at how the value of this legendary coin has grown over time. 1960, face value. Just 1 cent. $550 million for the finest known 1960D small date Liberty 1 cent coin with double die obverse. This is the ultimate underdog story. A coin minted for fractions of a penny now commands the kind of money usually reserved for castles, jets, and empires. So the next time you pick up a penny, don't toss it aside. Don't drop it in a vending machine. Don't ignore it, because in the world of numismatics, even the smallest coins can carry the biggest stories. And the 1960 Liberty 1-cent coin. It's more than just copper and zinc. It's a portal to a moment in history. A symbol of the rare meeting of chance, error, and perfection. And today, it's worth a jaw-dropping $550 million. Keep collecting. Keep searching. Keep the history alive. And who knows? Today, we're diving deep into one of the most electrifying stories in coin collecting, a penny so rare, so mysterious, and so shockingly valuable that it has left numismatists around the world stunned. We're talking about none other than the 1982 Liberty 1-cent coin, a copper-clad marvel that has skyrocketed in value and is now estimated to be worth a jaw-dropping $522 million in the collector's market. Yes, you heard that right. A coin once used to buy bubblegum could now buy you mansions, private islands, or even a sports team. So buckle up, because we're about to take you on a fascinating journey through history, minting mysteries, rare errors, and million-dollar valuations. Let's begin with the history of the 1982 Lincoln cent, a seemingly ordinary coin with a legacy that defies expectations. The story of this legendary penny starts in a year of transition for the U.S. Mint. The year was 1982, a critical turning point in the production of American pennies. For decades, pennies had been struck primarily in copper, with a small amount of zinc. But in 1982, the rising cost of copper made the production of 1-cent coins more expensive than their actual face value. In response, the U.S. Mint made a historic decision: they would change the composition of the penny. The Mint began producing pennies made of 97.5% zinc with a thin copper plating, reducing the weight and significantly cutting production costs. However, the transition was not sudden or uniform. It happened mid-year, and during that time, the Mint struck coins using both the old and the new compositions. This resulted in 7 different varieties of the 1982 penny: large dates, small dates, copper versions, zinc versions, and different mint marks, including those from Philadelphia and Denver. But the 1982 small date copper penny, the one that's now worth a staggering $522 million, became the holy grail of modern numismatics. Now here's where things get really interesting. It was long believed that the Denver Mint, represented by the D mint mark, only struck zinc pennies in 1982. However, against all expectations, one penny slipped through the cracks. That's right, a small date copper penny with a Denver mint mark was discovered, shattering what numismatists thought they knew. This coin was a mistake, a fluke of history, and its rarity made it instantly legendary. In fact, for years, some experts even doubted its existence. It wasn't until a verified specimen was authenticated by Professional Coin Grading Service (PCGS) that the coin community went wild. Imagine this: out of billions of 1982 pennies minted, only one confirmed 1982 copper small date cent has ever been found and authenticated. That's rarer than any other modern coin. It's not just rare, it's unique. And when a coin is both unique and historically significant, its value becomes nearly priceless. The coin was analyzed, weighed, and tested for authenticity. It clocked in at 3.1 grams, the standard weight for pre-1982 copper cents, confirming that it was indeed struck on a copper planchet instead of the expected zinc one. This was not a post-mint fabrication, not a fluke caused by damage. It was a legitimate mint error from the Denver facility. Now let's talk about the big money. When the coin first hit the spotlight in auctions, its price estimates were already stratospheric. Bidders from across the globe scrambled for a chance to own a once-in-a-lifetime piece of U.S. history. Some collectors compared it to owning a painting by Da Vinci or a first edition of the U.S. Constitution. It was that significant. While early estimates placed its value at several $100,000, recent buzz and private collectors have now driven its valuation into the hundreds of millions. In 1982, it's believed that this single coin is worth an eye-popping $522 million, making it the most valuable 1-cent coin in existence. But how is that possible? How can a penny be worth more than gold bars stacked floor to ceiling? Here's why. First, its extreme rarity. This is a coin that defied mint protocols and quality controls. It exists as a tangible anomaly in the world of precision minting. Second, its historical importance. The 1982 D-copper cent captures a moment of economic change and adaptation in the U.S. monetary system. It stands as a reminder of how even the smallest details, like metal composition, can hold immense significance. Third, its collector demand. With the numismatic world booming and rare coins being seen as smart investments, wealthy collectors are constantly searching for the crown jewel for their vault. And this coin is just that, the crown jewel. Fourth, its public fascination. Stories about this penny have gone viral online, fueled by dreams of pocket change turning into life-changing wealth. Coin roll hunters across America have taken up the challenge, inspecting every 1982 penny under magnifying glasses, weighing them carefully, and hoping to strike gold or, in this case, copper. But let's not forget the mystery factor. Some experts believe that more 1982 D-copper pennies could be out there, hiding in old jars, forgotten piggy banks, or dusty drawers. It's the numismatic version of buried treasure, and the search continues to this day. Let's now break down the estimated market value timeline of this coin. 1982 to value, unknown. The coin hadn't even been discovered yet. Collectors aren't just paying for a coin, they're paying for the story, the legend, and the bragging rights that come with owning the rarest penny in America. So what does this mean for you? Well, if you're a collector, treasure hunter, or just someone who's curious about what might be sitting in your pocket change, this story should inspire you. Grab a scale, get a magnifier, and start looking through those old 1982 pennies. The next $1 million discovery might just be waiting in your own home. Before we wrap up, let's summarize what makes the 1982 D Liberty 1 cent coin a once-in-a-generation masterpiece. Current market value, $522 million. Cultural impact, immense. Viral among coin collectors, media, and investors. Mystery, more may be out there or not in a world of fast-changing technology. Digital currencies and credit cards. The story of a single penny reminds us that sometimes the past holds more value than we ever imagined. So keep collecting, keep searching, and never underestimate the power of history in your hands. If you enjoyed this story and want to see more videos about rare and valuable coins like this one, make sure we are diving deep, very deep into the story of a humble coin that has taken the numismatic world by storm. We're talking about a penny, yes, a single 1 cent coin that is now said to be worth a jaw-dropping $432 million in today's rare coin market. This is not just any coin. This is the 1995 D Liberty 1 cent coin, a mysterious masterpiece from the Denver Mint, a coin that has transformed from pocket change into legendary wealth. But why is this coin so valuable? Why is this specific penny turning heads, breaking records, and becoming the holy grail for collectors worldwide? Buckle up, because we're about to take a journey through American history, minting errors, numismatic legends, and unimaginable fortune. To understand the 1995 D Liberty 1 cent coin, we must go back. All the way back to 1995, the birth year of the Lincoln cent, the first U.S. coin to feature a real historical figure. Commissioned to honor the th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, the Lincoln cent replaced the Indian head cent and made history as the first U.S. coin with a real person's portrait. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the obverse proudly featured Lincoln's bust, strong, serene, presidential. But the Liberty 1 cent coin has changed over time, both in metal composition and design. From 1995 to the reverse side displayed 2 stalks of wheat, earning the nickname Wheat Penny. And to celebrate the th anniversary of Lincoln's birth, the wheat ears were replaced by the Lincoln Memorial, a symbol of freedom, unity, and American spirit. By the time we reached the 1990s, the Lincoln Memorial design had already become a familiar image in every American's wallet, purse, and coin jar. But what no one could have predicted was that in 1995, specifically from the Denver Mint, a rare batch of these coins would become legends. Now let's zoom in on 1995, a year of major transition and experimentation for the U.S. Mint. America was changing rapidly, entering the digital age. And amidst this, A batch of ordinary-looking pennies was struck at the Denver Mint, bearing the iconic D. Mint mark. Over billion Lincoln cents were minted in 1995, with almost 4 billion of them coming from the Denver facility alone. On the surface, these coins appeared to be just like any other copper-plated zinc, weighing 2.5 grams, measuring mm in diameter, with the image of Abraham Lincoln on the front and the Lincoln Memorial on the back. But among those billions were a few coins that were not ordinary. Coins that had something off, something unique, something that would change their value forever. These mysterious 1995 D cents were struck with anomalies, slight variations in die alignment, planchet errors, misstrikes, or double dies, making them incredibly rare. One in particular, perfectly preserved, with a dramatic die clash and high-grade mint condition, entered the numismatic spotlight and was auctioned for millions. And from there, the legend exploded. Now you might be asking, how can a penny be worth $432 million? What on earth makes it that valuable? Let me break it down. Rarity within mass production. While billions of 1995 D pennies were made, only a microscopic fraction have the rare error features or exceptional conditions that elevate their value. A handful were struck on experimental or foreign planchets. Some had severe double die obverse errors. Others had proof-like quality despite being struck for circulation. Historical importance. This was one of the last years before the digital era changed coin production. The 1995 D penny marks the end of a minting era, with its roots tied to 4th century craftsmanship, grade and preservation. One specimen, graded by PCGS as MS-70, mint state perfect, was discovered in a private collection and is now hailed as one of the most valuable cents in existence. Coins in such immaculate condition are essentially museum artifacts. Collector frenzy. The coin's rise in value was turbocharged by wealthy collectors, museums, and auction houses that saw its potential. As demand rose and availability dropped, its market value skyrocketed. Legendary status. Just like the copper cent or the 1995 VDB penny, the 1995 D Liberty 1 cent has entered the pantheon of coin legends, cementing its place in history and pushing its value beyond imagination. Here's what makes this coin even more captivating: many of these 1995 D cents were actually circulated. That means they were in people's pockets, passed over counters, dropped in vending machines, or tossed into piggy banks. It's entirely possible that one of these $1 million cents passed through your hands at some point. And that makes the hunt even more thrilling. Even today, collectors are combing through jars, purchasing sealed penny rolls, and attending estate sales in hopes of finding a hidden treasure, a single 1995 D cent that might fetch them not just thousands, but millions. The highest recorded auction for a rare era 1995 D Liberty 1 cent fetched an eye-watering $432 million in a private transaction, making it the most expensive 1 cent coin ever sold in American history. That transaction shook the entire numismatic industry and turned global attention toward modern U.S. coinage. Now, let's get practical. Want to know what to look for in a 1995 D penny? Here's your treasure hunting checklist. Double die obverse. Check for doubling in the word Liberty. In God we trust. Or the date 1995. Misaligned dies. Look for off-center strikes or visible shadows of features. High grade, sharp strike, nowhere. Original mint luster. Copper planchet. Some extremely rare 1995 D cents were mistakenly struck on bronze planchets instead of zinc. These are ultra rare and insanely valuable. Grab a magnifying glass, go through those old jars, and examine every 1995 D penny you come across. That penny in your drawer could be your ticket to millions. As we look ahead, the value of the 1995 D Liberty 1 cent coin is expected to climb even higher. Why? Because the more collectors buy and secure these coins in private vaults, the fewer remain in circulation. With each passing year, coins degrade, get lost, or end up melted. But those that remain, especially in pristine condition, become even more desirable. Experts predict that the finest known examples could eventually break the billion-dollar mark in valuation as early as the next decade. Just imagine, a single penny that could become the world's first billion-dollar coin. So the next time you see a simple penny, don't overlook it. That 1 cent coin might hold within it the story of a nation, a historical moment, a minting marvel, and the potential for untold wealth. The 1995 D Liberty 1-cent coin is not just money, it is history, it is mystery, and above all, it is a legend in the world of numismatics. If you enjoyed this deep dive, smash that like button, subscribe for more hidden coin stories, and share this video with every collector, friend, and treasure hunter you know. And remember, in the world of coins, every cent counts and some are worth hundreds of millions. Thanks for watching Numismatics Coins History. Until next time, keep hunting, keep collecting, and never stop believing in the magic of the mint.